All right. So some folks get in. It's okay. It's a chill stream tonight. It's a little bit of BitsBeTrippin margaritas and BBT Todd in town, and we'll get some folks in here, and we're gonna do some testing with some 3070, 3080, 3060 Ti's, 3090, and 6900 XTs. I'll bring in some stuff. We'll let some folks get in. What's going on, my dudes? 2 streams, 1 day. Who would have thunk it? It's been a minute. We'll let some people get in here. What's up, homies? Crypto Mikkel, what's going on? What's going on, guys? BBT Todd came down, bearing some gifts. We're going to be putting in the farm. We did an order. It finally came in. I'm going to show you guys some cards. I'll just carry this around with me. I have the wireless lavender mic, but people were complaining that it was a little echoey. So I thought, why not just take the mic around with me for a second? So we're going to take a look at some cards. So we got the 3060 Zotac plugged in right now. The 3060 Ti, not the 3060. Don't be confused. It is the 3060 Ti. We do not have the 3060. The 3070 Zotac. So these are all nice and light up. RTX, of course, and then we got the 3090. Now the 3090 is interesting to me because why it's a triple fan. It's very thin. I like this is not a triple DIN card, even though it might overhang just a bit. It's actually pretty. I don't know, like it's like 2.5. This isn't much bigger than, or this is about the same size as the 5700. Like the 5700 dual DIN or triple DIN double yeah, because this has got the twin 8 pins. It's not that much bigger. I mean, it's maybe a little longer than the 57, a little bit longer. It's longer. Yeah. About a 1/2 inch. It's got the twin 8 pins, so none of the crazy plugs. This all lights up like Christmas here. We'll see that here. I'm just gonna lay this down because I don't want it to fall. Pull a Linus, and then this big boy, which I cannot wait to get in the 5950X build, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to improve on the I'm like 33rd or 34th in the world right now on TimeSpy. So if you go out to 3D Mark and you look at their stats and you look at the Hall of Fame, BitsBeTrippin's out there, our channel's out there on 33rd in the world with a pair of the like reference 6900 XTs. Just on air cooled, like all parts from Micro Center, and I want to try it with this Nitro Plus. So this is the 6900 XT Nitro Plus. BBT Todd breaking stuff back there. The Nitro Plus, which has the real cool back to it. It's got good sets of heat pads in there, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with a pair of these in there and see if we can actually improve on the settings there. And with the pair, we have 4 RTX 3090s, and we have 5 of the 3070s. We have 5 of the 6900 XTs here, and then 3 of the 3060 Ti's. So tonight we're going to be doing some testing with the cards in the breakout front with the riser. So they're not plugged into the machine; they're plugged into the riser, and we're going to do power analysis on this. So we're going to be running some different algorithms on them, and we're going to be capturing the riser draw and the actual 12-volt rail draw that comes in the top of the card. I want to capture those independently. We do this to make sure that when you switch between algorithms, people understand when they're building their rigs out what to expect. Like if you swap between, let's say, with one setting configuration with like ETH, and then if you switch it over to Ravencoin and bring up the core because you want a little more out, what does that do from a riser draw standpoint? It matters if people are using like SATA risers and that sort of thing, because that's all they had access to. How they need to dial the card back, because we want to measure, are we pulling 70, 80 watts from the riser itself? So we're going to put all of those cards in one build. That's not going to be tonight. We're going to be doing the power testing tonight. That kind of sets us up for the build parameters for going in tomorrow/Wednesday on the mega build, where we're going to put all 14 of these cards in one machine. So we're going to do that on a B250 Mining Expert. We did bring in a ASRock Pro BTC board too, which actually supports 13, and it won't do 14 as long as you put the PCIe PC adapter or PCIe adapter in the M2 slot, so we can get 14 that way too. That's kind of our fail-safe board just in case. Those will be running 3930 Celeron processors with we'll probably put 16 gigs of RAM or something on them. But we have breakout boards and power supplies. Do you want to grab one of those power supplies? We'll show them the power supply that we're going to be using. So sweet. BBT Todd here with the big boy. It's in that box over there. People are like, sell me one of these cards. So we're going to be using some of the Delta Electronics HP style power supplies. This is the big boy with the twin here, and then we have some single guys too. So we'll be using these with breakout boards. Yeah, I'll swap you with this, and then we got the light on style too. So again, like most of the time I'm using like EVGA power supplies, but we're going to do this with a little different with this build. We do have the breakout boards for these two, so we're going to be doing. So again, I want to make sure that we have it on multiple algorithms. We're going to try it on Ravencoin. We'll try it on essentially everything that's available on the different mining tools right now. And we'll get some power measurements on both riser and that. We're going to be capturing some numbers on the board tonight. And then I'll put a follow-up video that will kind of consolidate this for like a quick one. There's the breakout board for these, which shows us the load on the meter here that actually plug into the back of those power supplies. How many ASICs are we on? One. Yeah. Oh, you forgot the E3? It's all good. Before BBT, I was going to bring the E3. We forgot about it. But the E3 doesn't work. So we had one E3. And then in my early days of this channel, if you guys go back, some of the old ASICs that I had was like the Sponduli Tech SP35, Rock Miner, Avalon, a couple other old school ASICs, but I stayed out of the ASIC game. I really like the GPUs, my dudes. What risers are you going to be testing? What recommends to use? Which riser? I mean, I'm using the one that I have. We should probably use. I mean, the guy's bringing up a good point here, man. Like I always have the same riser here, which is the S7. It's the 7th gen standard 6-pin. It was one of the first 6-pin generations. So what we're looking at here.
This is the
6th gen. Yeah, I have the 6th and 7th gen, but these are usually the ones we use. We bought these in bulk back in the day. Let's see if it focuses. It's focusing on my face in here. So those are the riser we're using. You can see they're a little dusty from the farm, but those are the ones we have because we had a lot of them. And I mean, they're not too bad. We haven't had a huge amount of failures on those, right? I mean, they've been pretty straightforward.
3 years, I'd say maybe 5%.
Yeah, 5% still not too. I mean, not the best, but it is China. Mass produced, low cost items. It's not going through like Japanese capacitors or anything like that. It's like very basic. Not saying that China's bad. They do have some good stuff. I'm just saying anything that's rapidly produced, not Japanese capacitors, or higher quality stuff. 6Cs are the best. Yeah. I mean, we've had really good luck with the 6Cs. They're just hard to get. You can't get them anymore. Like you have to buy like the 9Cs and stuff. You cash all up yet, or just accumulate long? We go long on all this stuff. Some of the stuff goes to fiat when you have to. Some of this stuff, when you pick up hardware like this, you have to liquidate some because it's quite a bit of money in hardware here. I mean, 30,000 plus.
We've been cashing out for operating costs,
Yeah, I mean they
cashed out, but then as of recent, we've been cashing out about 10 grand a month just to buy hardware.
Yeah, like 10 grand a month is the current spend on it, just to capture new hardware. Some stuff goes back out, like where you have to replace some stuff. There's also cleaning materials and supplies that you need. You need a new, like we had to redo a lot of the, when we pull all the GPUs apart to clean them, it's like paste and that stuff. Like we're not using the cheap paste. I mean, that stuff was like the best paste that you could get out there. What was it, Gorilla here?
The Grizzly.
Grizzly.
Thermal knot.
Yeah, thermal knot and cryo knot. I mean, we're not like, this is the kind of stuff that we're replacing. When we go to redo our stuff, we're using branded stuff that's actually known to work well. We're not using the cheap stuff, the thermal pads, that sort of stuff, is what we're doing with it. So considering the 11 pros and cons of the EIP, benefits towards it. I mean, if you can get your hands on it, I just can't imagine spending $25,000 on an ASIC. It just, and they're mining on them right now. So I mean, they're getting the best time of it. I mean, if they were selling them and they were to where you could buy them right now and they could ship them to you like tomorrow, maybe it's a good deal. But right now, I mean, they're mining with them. So I mean, if you go out to Crazy Pool, there's a couple of big miners out there that are running on those A11 and Silicon rigs. I mean, I think they have 110 of them right now on Crazy Pool. How often do you have to open and clean up the GPUs? Not open up and clean too often. I mean, we're talking at the most you would do that is annually, if not, after a couple of years. Otherwise, you're just dusting. You're just cleaning the dust. Do you guys have a story yet where we can buy some of your old? I sold some old stuff that I had here that I was using for the prog PAL testing for some of the older stuff. I put it on eBay and I sold them all for really reasonable prices to people. And most of them were just direct purchase, so people couldn't bid them up. And they were pretty much instantly sold when I put them up there. I mean, I was selling RX 580s, I think, for $200. And I mean, that's just like I felt bad even selling them for 200 when we were picking them up for like 229. And they were like instantly sold. People were like, can you sell some more? And I think I had some MSIs that actually went a little higher. They may have went for 309. A couple of the test ones here that hardly had any, work on them. I had them here for the prog PAL testing and I never really deployed them in a rig and they were just always sitting on the bench. So they were like brand new GPUs, but I'm pretty much out of those. But yeah, I mean, right now these are all going to get deployed. I mean, I wish there was just more GPUs, my dudes. Like, it's crazy. I've never seen it like this. I mean, we've seen it in 2017, 2018. We were out in the end of 2017 and 2018. We went to CES. It was worse, but I mean, it was like when we were at CES, you still couldn't find a GPU. And I was talking to Jensen on the floor at CES, and he avoided all the questions at the time. And and then shortly after that, they came out with the P102, P106, P104s, which are the mining edition. And ironically, now we're in February of this year. 3-4 years later, and they're coming out with the HX series, which I'm trying to find out about. I would love to find out and buy some of the HX series and test them for you guys. Because I want to do power testing like this too to see the advantages. I think they're sandbagging on the numbers. I think they're using the same cores as a lot of the 3000 series. And there's no reason they're not going to tape out a new processor for it. Let me just come right out and say that. To tape out a brand new GPU, like full-on GPU, you're talking like $100 million in R&D. So they are taking those cores. I don't care what they say. I don't care what anybody has not disclosed. I'm telling you how engineering works in this process. And they're going to take those 3000 series cores. They're going to take probably any of the extra old stock that they had on the previous year, the 2000 series, and they're going to repurpose those cores, right? And if they step them down or they delete some features, with some kind of hardware block or shunt or something that's going to disable those, we'll find out when we're able to tear down one of the GPUs. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're using those cores. I don't care what they say. There's no way they've taped out an entire mining edition GPU. If they did, Jensen would be on there with his leather suit, and it would be part of one of the next live streams, and he'd be unveiling it in his kitchen. I'm telling you, with that kind of investment, that's the way he would display it. There's no way it's just a press release, right? So like they're just taking old stock for sure, no doubt. I mean, again, I don't have 100% of that knowledge on there, but I do know how the supply chain works. So that's why I believe that they're sandbagging the numbers. Yeah, can the HR? I would almost guarantee also that the HX cards can be used for gaming at some point, just because the hardware interface tech now operates in a way that allows switching between GPUs. You know, Linus Tech Tips covered that, and I think that they'll be able to get into that. I could talk in front of this camera for all day long. Let's get some work done here. Let's get into this. What do you guys think? The leather suit. Well, I mean, he always wears that leather jacket. I mean, I respect him for rolling in the biker outfit, man. I love it. But, you know, he had it on the stage when we were out there. Every time he's on there, he's always rocking the leather, man. I love it. Do you think a miner should get the new 3060? I mean, not specifically probably for mining, because you're hit hardest on the number one coin right now, which is ETH, by the halving of the hash rate. So now you're really looking at those ancillary other products. But I mean, you got to go with what you got to go with. I mean, I think that they're still going to get bought up by people, because right now everybody's looking for anything GPU wise. So I mean, if you get an opportunity to buy one, I mean, I don't think you're going to be sad about it. I know it's his image. Hey, I'm okay with it. I like it. I think it's cool. It's clean. But yeah, he's been rocking that for a while. And you know what's funny is if he ever switches it up, that's going to be more of an announcement than whatever announcement he's doing. If Jensen comes out there and rocks like a red suede suit or something, or I mean, just makes up, or some green suede suit, he would never do a red one, right? It'd be AMD, but like the branding color comes out there and something else than that black leather coat, then everybody's going to ignore. They're going to be like, oh, what'd you think about that hardware? But what did you think about Jensen wearing a new outfit? Yeah. 3060 Ti does not have a lock. The 3060 has the lock, my dudes. All right. So I got the driver loaded on this. I have not done a darn thing else. This was going to be kind of a loosey-goosey stream. Well, I was 50-50 if I even wanted to stream. I was kind of tired, but I was like, you know what, we're gonna at least get a couple of these cards tested. So I'm gonna switch over real quick to a different live screen for I am changing this transition for the folks that hate the noise. BBT Todd being my biggest critic of it. Absolutely hates it. Like, bro, when are you going to change that? I'm going to turn this on for you guys can see my ugly face here. Down there in the smallest corner ever. We should be broadcasting live in 4K. For all my Twitch friends, I promise you I'm going to do a Twitch stream. I promise you. We are going to update this interface setup, and I'm going to have my Twitch finally fixed. So usually I do this kind of long format testing on Twitch, but it's still jacked up. Let's see here. We're going to go to Bitcoin Talk. And we're going to grab like the latest we're going to grab the latest miners. I was going to actually say which miner we're going to get, but it's been a minute since I've been playing with the 30 series. I've been all in the 6800 XT and 6900s lately. It's been my bag. Let's see here. We are looking for. They really need to pin the big ones on here, like to the top. Like I'm always having to scroll and some of them get to the second page here, and I'm looking. Are we really getting to the third page? Nobody's mining. NB miners. I like NB miner. We'll grab NB miner. So ETH, Raven, Grin. I don't know if NB supports. It should, but it's been a minute, my dudes. Let's go to Control J. Keep that dangerous file. Extract. Let's take a look here. All right, cool. So out of the box, you know what? I probably have to grab T-Rex too, because T-Rex is kind of the go-to right now, right? T-Rex, miner, Bitcoin talk. This is the more efficient way to get to it. I'll grab NB and T-Rex miners. Let me know in chat if you want me to adjust another one too. And then let's make sure we have the latest version of. Doesn't Zotac have their own? They have their own modification thing, right? Or I guess I could use just it's like Ice Storm or something. What's Zotac's? Ice Storm, yes, Ice Storm. Like their version of overclocking tools, yeah. We're gonna grab. You know what? If I can't find it on your website, Zotac, in 30 seconds, you're done. You're dead to me. I want to make sure I have the latest Afterburner. Like, fix your life, Zotac. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Let's run that. So this is the 3060 Ti twin fan. We're going to get some basic numbers off this guy. And we're going to get the test on that. Do you still stream on Twitch? I have not in like a month and a half. I need to. And I will go back to long format streaming on Twitch like this. This kind of content does not usually hit YouTube. I usually give a like I'll do a recap on YouTube, but right now I'm doing long format on YouTube because my Twitch key was messed up. What's the total hash rate right now at the farm? It's about 28 gigahash on Ethereum and about almost 8 gigahash on Raven. So I think we're at 7.8 gigahash on Raven. All right, let's take a look. And let's get this.
There's a great guy.
Thought you were the novice miner. 2 days later, I find out you're the godfather of mining. You got all the other guys ripping you. No, man. I've just been around for a long time, my dude. Like, there's a lot of really smart folks in the space now that have been pretty avid miners. I've just been around a long time and have been part of this space for a very long time, and I kind of live, breathe, and eat cryptocurrency mining since. I mean, I was in cryptocurrency mining back in testing on just a single PC back in 2010 into building my first few machines dedicated to mining in 2011, and then moving into into building the channel back in 2013. So we made the channel in 2013 because, it's just here. We're gonna do a benchmark real quick, get this started, because I'm gonna have no setting changes. We're gonna take a benchmark based on this. Let's do Ethermine just to the test address and let it run without any settings changes. We're gonna let it spin up, and then I'll talk through kind of the history here while we're waiting. Okay. Now start this. Not support a Q to 10 build. Compiled with 11.1 or newer. I hear you, my dude. We'll do not CUDA 10. T-Rex, hold on real quick. We'll get into this. T-Rex. CUDA compiled with CUDA 11. Let's try this one. All right, again, no setting changes here. And let's just get some baseline numbers. What's that?
Firestore.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You're ready.
Yeah, you can look at that. I'm just doing baseline, no setting changes, so we can get some baseline numbers here. So, folks that were curious, yeah, I mean, most of my history's out there. You guys can check and see. So, yeah, the channel was made in 2013. So this crypto channel was made in 2013. I was pretty active on the forums back in 2012, 2013 on just like anybody else trying to look into everything. And by the end of 2013, it was kind of like there's no mining channels out there. I mean, at the time there was a few channels that covered crypto. Stefan and a few of the other very libertarian kind of focused channels. Mad Bitcoins was out there. A few other folks had Bitcoin channels, but nothing that was mining. So I felt there was a need to at least, even if I was not fully aware of what was all there, I figured that the internet would correct me. And what a better place to do it on YouTube. And so, we just did a lot of best practices on YouTube back in 2013 and try to get people to mine. And most of that at the time was mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, Feathercoin, some Bitcoin mining out there. But yeah, been around for a minute. So it's been quite the journey so far, my dudes. Yeah, dragged everybody in, man. Everybody around me most of the folks around me got into some level of discovery with it. But let's take a look at this. So again, first test, I'm going to capture this on marker. These you have to there we go, got it. So out of the gate, 3060 Ti, Zotac, about 50. This is the 3060 Ti stock. 51 points. 94. What's the full system wattage over here? 235. 235 watt full system. This thing idles about 40, so that's about 190 watts. I mean, it's full tilt right now. So let's go into the power. So that is on the GPU. That's on the 12 volt rail that's going on the top. It's 96. 96.7. Rail. And you want to hit that switch? And this is the riser. Look at that riser power. Holy crap, my dude. 85.1 riser. This is why we do the testing, my dudes. If you do not down your card, if you do not bring the power down on your card, you are looking at 85 watts. Holy crap. So you're looking at 85 watts coming from just the riser alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what we can pull that down to. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to shut that down. And we're going to come over here. We're going to pull this big guy down. Let's take it to 65. Bring the mem clock up. $600.
Gives you a good argument on why to use the HP.
Oh yeah, no, it's you don't want them on riser SATA pins if you're not messing with the stuff. And the main thing is I want to make sure people understand that they'll tear up their PCIe slot too. Like if you're in your computer and you're not messing, yeah, a little microfire. Let's step this down just a bit, or step this minus 100. Take a look. God damn it, I keep going to that one. $100. We're going to apply that. Let's do our first test that way. Is that riser glowing? Somebody asked. 65 watts was all the rel I thought would be. Yeah, no, it will do. I've seen as high as 90 on the 6900 XT. If you throw the power at it and you give the beans, it will do 90. It'll do 90 watts to the riser. Thermal gun's over there somewhere on the top area-ish. You can go behind me. We're going to see how it's doing. So we're testing mining. We're testing the mining right now on ETH. And we're at about 56.38 right now. And let's see here. So we're at 56.38. Mod 1. 56.44. And this, what's the total power right here?
158.
158. So that's a pretty significant drop. I mean, so if we go back to where you guys can see this. So full system power right now is 158. So 158 watts down from 235. And we're at 56 watts. So you can see right there, that's a huge difference for anybody that's not tracking. If you're using this card for a gaming card, leave it with the regular stock settings. It's fine. You even overclock it. If you're mining ETH, you got to bring that core down. You got to bump that memory up, and you got to bring the power limit down to 65 at least. We're going to go a little lower. Oh, you're checking the temps?
Yeah, like it's
Woo.
Even down by the.
It's 150, 160, or 159.
Even down by the riser, it's pretty. It's not that. It's still like 98 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not going to focus before it switches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the front of the card is sitting at 97. Yeah, it doesn't. I wish it could freeze that frame. It doesn't do it. Doesn't. You have to like recall it. I can save them and then I can recall it back. So yeah, 56.5 looks like what it's leveled out to. 158 watts. Let's check the riser. What's the over under on the riser? What do you guys think it went to? I'll let you guys put some numbers in there. Crypto investor like a boss, dropping a hundo spot. Coming in there like a heater, man. You got any questions, dude? I'll answer them for you. Let's get in here and check out. If you are a crypto investor, you've done very well, my dude. Whoo, we pulled it back a lot from 85 watts to 56, 55. We're pulling 55 watts now on that riser. It's absolutely critical. 56, 55. We've knocked off almost 30 watts off that riser. Huge difference. Absolutely huge. Huge. All right, let's check. Let's switch this. And then there's your 12 volt rel. So 12 volt rel now went from 96 watts down to 63. And don't worry, I'm going to take all of these numbers. If you guys go to sleep or whatever on all this stuff, I'm going to put these in the crypto mining spreadsheet in a new tab. So I'm going to capture all of the detail of this tonight, and you guys will be able to see it. And you'll be able to see what settings we used and all that. We'll have that in the spreadsheet for you guys. That's why I'm writing it on the board behind me. So, all right, let's go back to the screen here. So that's 56. Yeah, that's a huge difference. All right, let's go a little. Oh, God. This keyboard, I swear. It's in my way. 7 hundo. Zotacs are usually pretty good with memory. We'll see. We're going to take it to 58. Minus 200 on the core. All right. So this was 600 mem minus 104 minus 65. Or 60, it's 65%. Mod 2 is minus 200 for minus or plus 700 mem 58% power limit. All right, let's see what this does. Love the channel. How long do let's see here. How long do GPUs last at 105C junction temperature 24/7? If you can, you need to bring them down. You want to try to get some new thermal pads in there. But the Radeon 7s typically run in 95 to 105C, and they've lasted for a year and a half. But they have went out. We've had memory controllers fell on them. So I would not try to run it continuously at 105C. I would try to get the junction temperature below 90C if at all possible. So let's run this. Now we're going to do the ETH testing, and then I'm going to come right back through with some of the best settings we have also on Raven. I want to make sure Kapow has its numbers too. And then we're going to test other cards. On junction temperature, under 100 is the target. You want, I mean, if even 90 is pretty hot, but I don't trust anything that I can boil water on. If I'm changing a liquid into a gas, that's probably too hot for the card to be doing. So let's see how stable we get. We did a plus 700 in the memory here. Yeah, my dudes. As we wait for this, let's see here, 56.27. Looks like it's holding about the same. We'll let this run for a second. Yeah, if you my dudes can hit that like button, we're gonna explain real quick how the YouTube algorithm works. So if you guys all are awesome, 262 of you wonderful people out there, go down there and hit that like button. The YouTube algorithm sitting there looking at it going, oh, something's going on here. We should probably resuggest this to more people. And then it's like a perpetual machine, and more people come in and more people hit the like. And it's the way the YouTube algorithm helps us all out. So you guys are awesome if you go down there and hit that button. That's the easiest click. And you can also hit the down like if you don't like it too. And don't hate on new gamers. I do have a lot of gaming content stuff this is good actual content for you guys to know what your GPU is doing when it comes to like its power usage, because there is a chance that you could bring some of your power usage down too. And the power usage also usually comes down with heat. Let's take a look real quick and see, speaking of power, what's our thing here? 144. We've dropped it down to 144 full system. So this is under 100 watts on this GPU right now, because this system sits around 40, 44, somewhere around there, idle. So we're at under 100 watts on this GPU alone. 144 watts, full system. Let's take a look at the power. I'm going to drag this one up for I don't have to keep scrolling. All right, so that's the GPU 12 volt rel. That's 57. And then this is the riser. We brought the riser under 55. So we're almost at 50. So we're actually just over 100. 50 watts. So we're at 107 to 108 watts on this GPU. And this is why I like doing this testing, is that we're actually capturing, if people are not fully tracking what's going on here, is we're actually capturing. And for the people that are really annoyed by that sound, you know what? I think actually, here, hold on. I think I can do this and I can get rid of that sound. Okay, you guys will tell me on the transitions, on the next transition, tell me if the sound's away, because I'm getting rid of that transition sound on the next time. But the good thing is of this type of testing is we got the card isolated away from the machine on a riser, and we're capturing power from both the riser and the 12 volt rel. So we are getting the actual output of this card. So we know distinctly like where's the power coming from. Okay, and we can tell you how much power this card's using. So right now this card is using 107 watts to 108, almost 108 watts independently. And so whatever the delta here is what the machine's using right now. And we're at 56.54. So even bringing the memory up to from 700 or from 600 to 700, there was no change in the performance. So I would leave it at 600. So 56.54 was negligible. So I mean, really the target. I mean, unless there's a change after 800 to 1,000, which there probably isn't. It's probably hitting the theoretical max at that speed right now. I'm going to try right now. Yeah. We're going to go a little further. How low can we go? Let's go back. I heard the sound, but it didn't. It should not have broadcasted the transition. Let me know if the transition didn't make a noise. We're going to come into here and we're going to drop this further. Let's take the core down by 350. Let's take this to 600 because there's no reason to press it. And let's check the power to 55. So, okay. So we brought it down some more. Let's go ahead and fire up Ethermine and see if that's stable. Now, if it actually will kick it or if we just killed the card, which we might have killed it. Nope, it went. Took it a second. And let's take a quick look to change to the live scene. Oh, I missed a super chat here. What's this? Let's scroll up, my dude. Love the channel. Just started building a farm, and you've been a big help and an inspiration. Thanks, man. No problem, my dude. Send me always a note. You guys are free to send me a message. I get about 25,000 messages about a quarter, but I try to get through a lot. And if anybody's ever responded to me, most of you guys know I usually respond back. I try to respond back as much as I can. I do spend amazing amounts of time to do that. To at least help you guys out in a quick message. If you run into any big issues, Mike, let me know. All right. Still the sound. Still made the noise. Okay. Well, that noise is going to go away. I'm getting rid of that noise after this stream. All right. So we dropped it a little much. I think it looks like it's about 47. What are we running on the system itself?
137.
137. But we are lower on this. We're at 47. We're 47.5. So I'm going to transition this right now to this where we can see. So we're at 47 watts. We're under 50 watts now on the riser. And then we're 53.9 on the 12 volt. So what's that? We're really close to 100 watts even right now. Right? 100 watts on the GPU. And we're at 47.5. So that was a pretty significant drop there. And that was minus 350 on the core, plus 600 memory on the memory, and then 55% power limit. So I think that 58% power limit at 600 core is where it's at on this card, and that's about 106 to 108 watts. Sweet. Let's try some Ravencoin real quick. We're gonna leave. Let's see here. We're gonna have this guy. We're gonna start at the low and work our way up real quick with Raven. We'll do a little quick one to Lily Pool, or 2 miners. So this is Ravencoin with a minus 350 core and a plus 600 memory, 58 or 55% power limit. And we're going to see what we're going to start with this, and we're going to work our way up with Raven. Yeah, we could try a max voltage, a higher memory core here in a minute. He's got 1260 on his. I'm being conservative right now on it, keeping the memory down. So 17.2. RV. So we're 136 on the power, full system. It dropped a little, dropped to 16.9. It should be lockstep, right? So the powers are all the same essentially as ETH right now. We had no power increase. 16.2 is more realistic here. It looks like it's between 16 and 17 slash 16 and same power. I think we're just starving the card a lot right now, so it's starving it out. We can look at the riser real quick. Oh, wrong button. Oh God, all the noises. GPUs 53, risers fit 7047. Yeah, so keeping it that way kept those numbers aligned. So we're going to come back to here and we're going to change. We're going to give it a little more juice. We're going to step this back up to minus. We're going to go up to minus 100 core. We're going to, just step it. Damn it, I keep using it. 2 keyboards. I need to change the colors. They look the same. 100. 600. We left that there. And let's do 65. This one. We might just get through one GPU today. I'm going to have to update the title. All right, dudes, let's run that slide. I mean, 4 GPUs is very bold. That's a long, super long stream to do this kind of iterative testing on. So we'll do some follow-up testing on it. And we're going to see what we can get here. Here at 63 with 502 core, plus 140, 1428. We'll give it a roll, D. There you guys go. You guys are getting those 200 likes in like a boss. Yeah, Raven is a core heavy algo, so I don't always just go straight for the core though. I like to see the most efficiency possible. So sometimes even if you take a hit on the mega hash, If you can get that efficiency curve to where you're not having to pay as much, but still get a majority of the hash rate. So we're 22.8 there. That's this one, 22.8 RVN. Power is 158-ish. So yeah, because I'm stepping the core back. They hit 150. Yeah, so 22 there. All right, let's go back to ETH real quick with some quick numbers. Same one. $14.50. $50 power limit. This is what I'm going to call the YOLO. Also known as the YOLO settings. What's the power setting? Oh, it just blew.
Not very much.
No, it blew. It blew though. I said, yeah, cool story, my dude. Not happening. 1360. Question: the easiest way to get less than 90C thermal junction, if you've already swapped out the thermal pads, but temps are still high.
You put in thick enough thermal pads. Thick enough. That could be a problem.
Yeah, make sure the thermal pads are thick enough, first off. Which GPU are we talking? Because it also depends on the GPU. Yeah, I think we were just either too high on the memory or we weren't giving it enough juice. It's running now. It's I just brought it down to 1350. I brought it down 100 megahertz less than 1450. BTC down to 50K. $34. It halved.
124.
124. Yeah, 50% power limit's not, it's too low. That or the core is too low. Let's try 58. ETH is falling 1600. Asia must be unloading their bags. Yeah, it's a try market, my dudes. What do you say for who asked that question? I want to make sure we're talking to the right person here that asked that question. It's Anon. Anons are 3080s gigabytes. Yeah, so I would definitely check the thermal pad thickness on that. Also, make sure that you have some good. I don't know your temperature or your airflow around that GPU, but if it's anything like the MSI versions, you need to have some extra airflow moving over them. Yeah, 53 is still not enough. It's not grabbing enough power. Let's try 65. Same damn thing. You close the Phoenix Miner 5.5 mining Ethereum. The screen goes black and it PC reboots. I mean, there could be all kinds of reasons. It depends on the GPUs. I've had that happen with RX series cards like the 570s, and it's those Polaris cards with the driver. Sometimes when it's released in the compute mode, will cause it to reboot. If those are Polaris cards.
So I stopped with Phoenix Miner due to that reason.
Yeah. Team Red Miner. Yeah, I tried Team Red Miner. Thoughts on GPU mining long term in regards to EIP 1559, post 2.0, etc. I put out there, Todd's, that what like something like Raven would need to get to. I'm adding other coins to that model. You know, the cool thing about GPU mining, while we're waiting for this to give us a hash rating, oh, there it is, 62. It just took us to give it a little more juice. These Zotacs needed a little more juice. What are we up to power wise? 158, still not bad. Odd 3. Oh, is that 4? No, dos, tres. Oh, copper. 3. And then this was plus 1350 mem. It's 100 for 65% power. What's the total system is 158. We're at almost 62 mega hash. Could probably get a little more out of it. 63, I think, is the max on these things. 64 at most.
What is it, 158?
The riser's 56. Yeah, then that's the same setting for the bow at 65 watts. And 63. Should be 63. Yeah. Riser. Oh, got it. Yeah, I mean, to answer your guys' question there, so the cool thing about GPU mining, for anybody that's wondering what happens after ETH, when people GPU mine, they're mining for all cryptocurrency. They're not mining to the algorithm, right? So this allows you to go to other coins, and as other coins grow in value, you have the opportunity to go over to them. With Ravencoin showed a moment of promise by pushing to 20 cents because it was a penny and it's went up 20x, and that's the kind of moves that are required to start taking the absorption of a massive amount of 20x, my dudes, right? So it doesn't take a matter of factoring to start to absorb other crypto networks. If Ravencoin have already done the math on it, it's out there in the spreadsheet. The link is below in this description. That spreadsheet shows you what like something like Ravencoin needs to get to price wise to then be able to absorb a handful of most of Ethereum's network. If Ravencoin gets to 51 cents, it's now break even for like more than 50% of Ravencoin or of Ethereum's network moving over. If Ravencoin pushes to $1.30, it doesn't matter if every GPU on ETH move over to Raven at $1.30, Ravencoin can cover the spread. And people are like, how the heck does $1.30 Raven cover the spread on something like Ethereum? It's because Ethereum's blocks are every 15 seconds. There's 1 minute on the Ravencoin block time. So you take 4 ETH blocks and you take the sum of those ETH blocks of how much ETH can be generated in 1 minute. So that's 4 15-second ETH blocks. Right now, if ETH was giving you double the current reward because of the transaction fees, you're talking 4 Ethereum. Now you're talking that 4 times those 4, that's 16. ETH is the forced projection of how much ETH can be on the network in 1 minute. Why that's relevant is because Ravencoin's block time is 1 minute. Ravencoin puts out 5,000 coins per minute, not 16. So it takes a lot less price point to start making Ravencoin as profitable as ETH because there's 5,000 freaking coins coming out every minute. So now Ravencoin only needs to get to $1 now with the difference. This is the beautiful thing about math. And with that kind of momentum, in Raven having a halving schedule like Bitcoin, it becomes this new option for GPU miners, and being a very GPU centric coin with Kapow. You also have the other supporting networks out there. You have Ubik, you have VTC, you have Zell, you have Grin, you have a lot of these other, well, not so much Grin, they're pretty much ASICs now, right? But you have a handful of currencies out there also that are also going to absorb some of those GPUs, right? As those prices start to go up. Ubik's up more than twice what it was worth. Ubik had a high of $6 at one point. It's at like 30 some cents, right? Maybe 20 cents now with everything pulling back some. So can the other coins and the totality of the other coins take on all of ETH over time? There is an absolute chance of that. Is it going to happen? Nobody knows, obviously. But I have a lot of faith in the force projection of this space to provide security to another coin, which is going to bring confidence to that coin. So, and I think Raven's a perfect example of that. It's kind of a long answer, my dudes. Ubik's at 38 cents. And it was, that was like 12 cents at one point. So, it's went up 3x. Is Beam ASIC? I believe so. I think they have ASICs, right? The C32s or C31 ASICs. I think they have a Beam ASIC. Because they were going to do an ASIC and... Digibyte, there's a few coins out there that you can mine, like Growstol and stuff, but... So I'm going to put some numbers out for you guys for the 3060 Ti. We're going to go through some testing in through tomorrow. And for the folks that are coming on late, let's take a little quick review of what we have coming up on the channel that you guys are going to love. So we have... Let's do it this way, my dudes. My microphone is twisted. So we have so for the folks that are just catching up, we're going to be wrapping this stream up because we're about an hour, and I want to do some more testing, and then I'm going to put all the results out. So if you missed any of this, no problem. We're going to put all of the testing results of all these GPUs in the mining spreadsheet with the link that's below. It should be below. But we got the 3070 coming up here in another stream. We got the 3090 coming up. Zotac is not a sponsor of this channel. This was hard-earned money paid for. We got the Sapphire Nitro 6900 XT. And what we were just testing here, which is the Zotac Gaming 3060 Ti. The real cool build here is we're going to put all these GPUs in one big rig. And what I mean by that is we got 4 3090s, we got 5 3070s, 3 3060 Ti's, and 5 6900s, and we're going to put them all in one rig. So we're going to do like a mega build. We're going to build the rig from scratch. We got server power supplies set up for everything. and we're going to build this for you guys on the stream and try to get it to work. I mean, I have no doubt we'll get it to work, but it was more of like, can we get it working in the same machine and then like have to play with the configs and stuff? It should be fire. So I'm literally looking forward to this build and seeing what we can build out of it. Server power supplies, breakout boards, the whole 9 yards. We're going to teach you guys how to do this. You know, if you get just even a couple of the cards, yeah, get the big boy power supplies, Delta. Look at this big guy. Twin pins, 2400 watts, platinum power supplies. You know, all these server power supplies are all platinum in quality, 90% efficiency. The 3090 right here. You got, please name the stream mega build. We will do it. Baby Yoda, with that name, your wish is my command. So 3090 triple tri-fan setup. These things light up. They're cool as hell. So we're going to be, so the other content that I'm going to be making is making sure that you guys know what the riser pull of these settings, all that kind of stuff too, for each of these content. I won't drop that. And then my favorite here. I'm also going to be doing a run probably tomorrow on, I'm going to be trying to take on the Time Spy leaderboard. I'm 33rd on Time Spy right now. If you go out to 3D Mark, if you just Google 3D Mark and you click on Time Spy on the top, 100 in the world. Right now we're currently 33. I'm going to try to go a little further with a pair of these Nitro Edition Sapphires. These are the cool new 6900 XTs. We're going to put a pair of these. We're going to crossfire them with the 5950 build that I have. That CPU is pretty stable at 4.8 gigahertz on water. So it's about 4.84 is the most stable I can get it. So if that at 4.84 with two of those Sapphire 6900 XTs, we're going to see what we can do if those things are really stable, when we really bump them up and overclock them. And then we're going to follow that right back up with a pair of 3090s and see what we can do with the 3090s. So we're going to do the 3090s and the 6900 XTs, kind of a dual head fight. And you guys let me know. I mean, that's not really mining content, but if you guys want to see me go for try to improve on the world record, let me know, and I'll put it in the description below too, as kind of trying to get higher up on that list. That's kind of like a side hobby fun. Get on the list up there with all the other crypto streamers. Here's my Lobby channel, and I love all of you for subscribing, and we're now pushing over 50,000 people. Considering this channel's from 2013, that's a big deal to me. So thank you all for that. But it's good stuff, my dude. And don't worry about these crypto prices. Like it happens. Like live through bear market multiple times. Like this is nothing. So many noobs in here worrying about fiat value. Try to beat Jay's 2 cents on 3D Mark. I don't know if Jay's is on 3D Mark on Time Spy. I know I haven't done Time Spy stream. I know. So the problem with the extreme is like that's what they want. That's the measuring stick that everybody try to use. Can you make a reference to the memory module in the card, Samsung? Yeah. Can we write that down? And we'll take a look at that. On there on the wall, and like just put memory type, and then we'll remember to pull down do the inspect the GPU Z and take a look at it. Jim, been mining since 2015. Nice, my dude. That would have been 2015 would have been there was a few things in 2015, but it was mostly Litecoin at the time. Bitcoin, if you were doing ASICs on Bitcoin. Bear market battle scars. Wish would have kept mining during the bear market. It was a rough time. I mean, it's a hard thing, man. Like what most people gotta understand is most of the time, like when you're not profitable in mining. So here's some good calculus for you. If you're long the crypto space, okay, listen to this very slowly. If you're long the crypto space and you're into mining, but the market comes down to where it doesn't make sense for you to spend power to mine and compete with people that are better situated on their for cost, then it makes sense to whatever you were going to spend in power to just buy the crypto if you're long on crypto, because you're in a bear market, the crypto's cheaper and you're going to get more crypto for your money at that time investment. So you're not hedging 100%, but you already own the rigs, but it doesn't make sense to run them. So you could take like half of the money you were going to spend on power. So if you have like 1 rig, 2 rigs, and let's say you were spending $80, $90 a month in power, maybe even $100 a month in power. And your wife's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, take that $45, $50 that you were going to spend in power a month at the time. Just park your rig. It's okay. It's a GPU, bro. It ain't going anywhere. I was mining on GPUs. I recently was mining on 3090s, like R9 3090s from 2016. Okay. Like in 2021, like, and they were sitting in the back. So like, they're fine. They're and like, look at the market right now. Like, you can sell those R9 390s for like $300. So I'm just saying that, like, just park your gear and then spend that in crypto if you're long crypto, right? And you're going to get more yield. Then you're becoming a buyer on the seller side of the market. People that are trying to sell the coins in a bear market to cover their ends, and you're getting a more yielded efficiency. When it's a high market, like right now, where the coins are very expensive, then you're hedging your bet by deploying your hardware, and you're mining, and it's profitable. So now you're able to cover your power expense, and you're able to just use that hardware to earn crypto, right? So you're still in the game, you're still earning crypto, and you're using your deployed hardware, and you're doing it efficiently in the concept of you're not having to spend really high dollars on coins. You're earning the coins through a managed service, right? So that's the secret, bro. 274 of you guys got to see that, and anybody else that sees that video and makes it to this part, you get to hear that. And then if you compound what you just earned in crypto over like a 5-year period, those times were great. Okay. Awesome, my dudes. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for checking this out. Twitch banned you, BBT. We can't get used to seeing you so much. No, Twitch did not ban me. My account I don't know if somebody hacked it or something happened. It got locked, and then I unlocked it, but now my stream key changed. And every time I try to type it in here, it doesn't accept it. I have to like figure it out. So I've just been going straight to YouTube right now with some of these. But on these kind of streams like this that are longer streams, I do them usually on Twitch, and then I bring over the cut down version onto YouTube. But all right, my dudes and my dudettes. I see some ladies in here too. So I'm gonna get back to it. We're gonna cut out, do a few more testing things here offline, do a little more BitsBeTrippin, and then get some sleep, my dudes. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks again for